You've now tuned in to episode 6, Postwork. It's your boy, the biggest, my partner, the Reverend. You know what time it is. What's poppin', gang?
What's good, my boy?
How you living?
I'm good, same old, same old. How you living?
Shit, I can't complain. If I did, they wouldn't give a anyway, would they?
No, they don't care.
You feel me?
Ain't nobody trying to hear it.
You feel me? But look, this how we gonna start it off. 6 time. Not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, but six blessings. 6 time Super Bowl champion, Bill Belichick, heads to UNC. Does Bill Belichick have a good run in college? Blessings. Do you think the move works? Do you think he's going to struggle? Because this is something he's not used to. What are your thoughts about Mr. Belichick?
I feel like Belichick, he could be successful, but it's kind of hard because this new NIL is different. Even though he's used to paying players and managing the money and all those kind of things, but I just feel like it's going to be different when you got the landscape is kind of even. Everybody is on even playing field, and it seems like nobody is really going to the guys who've been winning. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's going to whoever paying the most. So Belichick is not known for giving out a lot of money. So I feel like it'll be interesting to see. I feel like he's not going to have a terrible losing season though, because he's a master manipulator.
Yeah. And it ain't like the ACC is this power conference.
True.
So you feel me? I think it's gonna turn out good. And he made them. I don't know if you've seen it, but he made them in his stipulations. They had to up that NIL bag that they've been giving out because exactly what you said. Motherfuckers going to the highest bidder now. You feel
Yeah.
me? Like niggas is like, man, I need it.
True.
What you got for me?
They want it.
Of course, I don't blame them. I want it too. Give me every last dollar. Who the highest bidder? Oh, you offering these perks too? Oh,
Yeah.
this too? Oh, where do I sign? When do I sign? Give me the
About to say, here you go. Where do I sign?
mama pops. We made it.
Telling you.
Yeah, but I think it's actually gonna work out pretty good for them. I ain't saying they're gonna win no championship or nothing, but they'll be pretty competitive because he at least gonna make sure that they play smart.
They're gonna have a good defense.
Yep, and they not really gonna probably be penalized a whole lot. You feel what I'm saying? They'll be very smart team.
Probably run a pro style offense.
Yep, like man, we already know how Bill gonna come in there and try it. I don't really see him trying too much new from, you know.
But see, Carolina is a prestigious school though. It's not
Yeah.
like he went to a lower level school, So it'll be interesting to see if they can get the top recruits. So because a lot of people want to go to Carolina, so it'll be interesting to see.
Yep, and for real, that'd be crazy if UNC get a real good football program. Cause with the tradition of the basketball program, if that football program can just be half of that, whoo,
That school will be worth a lot more money.
you feel that NIL will keep on going up.
Yeah, have a biggie bag.
You feel that biggie bag? All right, so.
Well, let me ask you this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they were talking about this is reportedly, allegedly. They say that a school was offering Quinn Ewers $4 million to stay in college and not go to the draft. Do you think he should take the money from the school, or should he go try his luck in the NFL?
I would say go NFL. Reason is because while 4 million can be good, if you go to the draft with as many people that need a
Excuse me.
quarterback, somebody is gonna convince themselves that he's the first round pick, and it'll do him better for him to be in the league than to stick around in college and keep getting exposed more and more time.
True.
So I think he should go. Like that's really what I think. I think he should go. Do you think he should go, or do you think he should stay?
He got the buzz right now, like you were saying, to go first round. So I feel like he should go first round. Go to the league because the more you stay in college, the worse you get. Like you don't get a lot of people. The longer they stay in there, it gets worse. Like I don't really see nobody who stayed in college a long time and they end up getting better the longer they stay. Like you got a small window to capitalize on your opportunity. So
And typically, people know by the time, like before you a senior or whatever, what you gonna be, and you done pretty much peaked out. Or even if you ain't peaked, we know your skill set, we see your weaknesses. You feel what I'm saying? And it don't really too much change for most people.
plus he was supposed to go to the league last year. So why stay, again another year, what I mean, and hold your NFL process up. So you already did what you said to do. You made it to the playoffs. Had you a good run, man, and close the book on it.
I agree. Strike while that iron is hot.
Yep.
Don't play with it.
Better not.
Now, on to the college football playoff. The way the bracket is set up. Number 1 team, the Oregon Ducks. Number 2 team, Georgia Bulldogs. Number 3 team, Boise State Broncos. Number 4 team, Arizona State Sun Devils. Number 5 seed, Texas Longhorns. Number 6 seed, Penn State Nittany Lions. Number 7 seed, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. The 8 seed, the Ohio State Buckeyes. The 9 seed, the Tennessee Volunteers. The 10 seed, the Indiana Hoosiers. The 11 seed, the SMU Mustangs. And the 12 seed, the Clemson Tigers. It all starts off Friday night, December the 20th, 8 p.m. Eastern. Number 10, Indiana visits number 7, Notre Dame, with the winner going on to play Georgia. Who do you have?
I'm going Notre Dame over Indiana. I just feel like Notre Dame is playing good football right now. I feel like they'll beat Indiana. Who you taking?
Do you think it's going to be a good game or a blowout?
Now, that I do think that's going to be a good game. Indiana plays very sound football. The only thing that really gets me about Indiana is that their schedule has not really been of a lot of competition like Notre Dame. Even though they have played good competition, but they haven't really played a lot of teams like Notre Dame and Georgia. So even if they get out of the first round, they probably will end up losing to Georgia. So, but I'm taking Notre Dame in a close one.
We have our first upset, people. The Indiana Hoosiers go into Notre Dame, get a win. I think they're going to, I wouldn't say stop the run, but I think they're going to contain the run, and Notre Dame ain't really been too good throwing, and I think they're going to beat them. Very close game. I definitely think they're going to cover the 7 or 7.5 point spread, and I think they actually going to win. Now, do you think if Notre Dame loses their first game that their season has been a failure?
Yeah, because you got Riley Leonard from Duke. You put a lot of money into this team. You started off the season kind of slow, but you picked it up towards the end, and you kind of got on a hot run. So I feel like if you lose in the first round, that kind of would put a damper on your season.
I agree. And because Notre Dame and Indiana in the same state too. And Notre Dame is like the football school. Indiana known for basketball.
Yeah,
So that would be like a huge win for Indiana. And
it
I'm with
would
you.
be.
I think that'll be a huge failure of a season for Notre Dame if they don't at least get to Georgia. And me personally, for Indiana, I think their season has already been a success, whether they win or lose. Do you agree with that? Disagree with that?
I feel like I would agree with that. They had a good season. They definitely played a lot of good football this season.
Yep. I like that coach. He be popping this shit.
Yeah, anybody
Check my resume.
About to say I'm known for winning. All I do is win.
So hey,
So
look, you check his resume and he ain't lying either. You feel me?
That's what I like. When you go check the resume and it line up.
It line up with exactly what he's saying. Hey,
like, okay, I like that. I like that.
And I can tell that's another reason I think they're gonna win too, yo, is because he a real good coach.
He is.
In the way that they lost to Ohio State, I just think he gonna have them ready to play so that they don't look like that again, at least to Notre Dame. Now, Saturday, December 21st, noon Eastern, a whiteout. The SMU Mustangs number 11 seed, travel to the number 6 seed, Penn State Nittany Lions. It's going to be a noon whiteout, the first time ever they having a whiteout that ain't at night. Who wins the game?
Penn State beats SMU. Blowout. At least 2 touchdowns. At least. What do you think?
I got Penn State. I think it's a blowout too. I got at least 17. And I got a feeling they might skunk them.
I feel like the offense is too high power for SMU to stop.
It is.
And I just don't know if SMU can match the scoring that Penn State is going to put up. So,
and their quarterback been turning that ball over lately.
Very inconsistent.
And that ain't a good sign, especially when you the underdog and you the one need to be getting the turnovers, not you the one turning it over. So, yeah, I think this will be maybe the biggest blowout of the weekend. Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm going with that. I'll say that. Excuse me.
I'm really thinking so. Now, I don't even really have to ask this. I'm going to just give my answer. The season has been a success for SMU irregardless. And if Penn State loses this game to SMU, their season is a failure.
Yeah, I feel like SMU should at least get to like the quarterfinals. I mean, Penn State. Sorry. Penn State should get to the quarterfinals. Yeah, I feel like Penn State should get to the quarterfinals because I just feel like they have a easy road ahead of them. And if they lose, I feel like if they lose to SMU or Boise State, I feel like definitely they came up short and missed out on their opportunity to make a deep run in the playoffs.
Because you look at that, there's no reason they shouldn't be a Final Four team.
Yeah, no reason they shouldn't be.
Like, because for real, even though Boise the 3, they're gonna be the favorite if they get there.
Yeah, so, if they get there, yeah.
That's why I say, and if they lose to SMU at home too, in an actual home game, that is a failure. Now, to our 4 o'clock game, The number 12 seed Clemson Tigers travel to the number 5 seed Texas Longhorn. Now, I don't know if you noticed or not, Texas safety now, I think it's Mbuka, was formerly at Clemson. Klubnik is from the state of Texas. Can Clemson go into Texas and pull the upset? Does Dabo show why he don't need the portal?
I feel like depends on which Quinn Ewers shows up. I feel like Texas still will beat them, even though just because I feel like they didn't like the way they lost to Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they will come out with a vengeance, but I still feel like it's going to be a close game. Somehow, Clemson usually plays these games kind of close and tight. They usually don't get blowout or blow teams out in this situation. But I just feel like Texas overpowers Clemson and they move on to beat Arizona State. Already given my prediction.
If Quinn Ewers starts struggling, since his one and done situation, this Shark, does he turn to Arch Manning?
I would.
I think so too.
I would.
Especially in a one and done situation, you ain't about to lose my season.
It really depends on how we're losing, especially if we're not getting no motion on the offense or we're stagnant.
Yeah, of course, because if he balling, you feel me, ain't his fault. But if we ain't moving and the offense struggling,
yeah, then you got to make a change.
Because you can't, we not riding down with that ship. We not sinking with that ship.
Yeah, I feel like Texas should be a Final Four team also.
Yep, they got an easy ride.
Yeah, they got an easy ride. I like that.
And yes, I think Texas wins. I think they win by at least 10, and I'm thinking 14. This will be the second biggest. Well, this will be the only second really blowout of the weekend because I think Texas pulls away kind of late, fourth quarter type. Yeah, and I really don't see Clemson scoring that much on Texas defense. So might be like 24-10, 27-10 type. Now, on to the nightcap. The Tennessee Volunteers, the number 9 seed, head to the number 8 seed Ohio State Buckeyes. Now, the Buckeyes just lost to Michigan, didn't get a crack at Oregon again for the Big Ten title. And on top of this, it's a little bit of a rivalry between the Big Ten and the SEC because they're trying to compete for superiority of best conference in college football. Who do you have?
I'm going. I've really been thinking about this all day. I'm going Tennessee beats Ohio State in the first round. Ohio State's quarterback is very shaky to me.
At best.
I just don't feel like in the biggest moments he does what he needs to do. Now, maybe Ohio State is upset about them losing to Michigan and they come out and fight, but I still feel like some way, somehow, the Volunteers come in and upset Ohio State. And I feel like they should fire
Ryan Day.
I'm about to say Dayball, or not Dayball, but Ryan Day. If they lose in the first round, and I feel like they will. So after they lose, fire them before you even get off the field. Pay them that money and get somebody that can get the job done.
Yeah. Everything you said, I completely agree with. I think Tennessee wins. I think it'll be kind of a low mid scoring game. And I don't really think Ohio State is going to be able to be too effective running on Tennessee's defense because their defense is nice. And I think Samson is going to have a field day on their defense.
They run the ball very well. They're a very physical team.
Very on both sides of the ball too.
Yeah.
So to me, as long as Nico don't turn the ball over and Tennessee don't turn the ball over, they're gonna win in Ohio State. Buckeye fans, I know you don't like to hear that, but I'm just telling you, you're gonna lose a game, prime time, back-to-back losses, and it's gonna be very bad. And Ryan Day will be somewhere else next season because he will definitely won't be able to stay in Columbus.
Excuse me.
And at home too, and they was already booing them against Michigan.
Yep.
All it's gonna take is a bad start, and they're gonna start hearing them boo birds early. And I'm with you. I don't think Howard, the quarterback, I don't think he good enough, and I don't think they're gonna be able to have enough success running. So unless he come out and do something different throwing the ball, I don't see how they're gonna win.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't feel like they can pass the ball on them well enough to beat them.
Yep, I agree. Now, what this is gonna set up is you're gonna have Texas, the 5 seed, going against the 4 seed Arizona State. You already said that you had Texas winning, correct?
I'm going with the upset. Forget it. I'm going with the upset.
Scatterbird.
I'm going with the upset. No, I'm lying. Texas over Arizona State.
If Texas does not reach the Final Four, is their season a failure?
Absolutely. Because the only reason why you come back, especially for Quinn Ewers, the only reason why you come back is to win a chip. You really had no other reason to come back. I mean, it was because
and at least get there.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, did you really think you was gonna be number one pick? You know what I'm saying? Like you probably, I would definitely would be give you probably you definitely in the top 5 quarterbacks of college football, but everybody don't need a quarterback. So I feel like last year's draft was the year to come out because you had what 5, 6 quarterbacks picked top in the first round. So it's like that was your time to come out because you would have, you could have found your way in one of those on the team and been playing because a lot of the rookies are getting minutes now, as you can see. They're going in, you're playing right away.
Yeah.
So, or even if you don't play right away, you are potentially getting in a good position to get on a good team and watch how somebody that's actually good play the position. So,
yeah, see how they work.
Yep.
I agree. Texas beats Arizona State. They don't reach the Final Four. Their season is also a failure. Now, Penn State versus Boise. I'm also assuming, since you made the thing, if they don't make the Final Four, their season is a failure. I'm assuming that you agree that they're going to take out Boise as well as I do.
Yeah.
I agree. I think favorable matchup for them and Tennessee. I mean, for them and Texas, if I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I feel like they got really. To be honest, though, I really feel like Georgia and Penn State has the easiest roads. I feel like one of those teams should definitely be further, go further because Georgia has either Indiana or Notre Dame. Neither one of those teams has played a schedule like Georgia. Georgia has a lot of top 25 teams under their belt. So
yeah,
I felt like either one of those two teams, you should be pretty decent, But then when you get to, even if SMU beats Penn State or Boise State, beats Penn State or SMU, whatever, I still feel like Georgia should beat one of those teams. So I feel like they got it. They should have an easy road to the finals, depending on how consistent they can play. But I feel like it's Carson Beck keeps the football, protected, or even if their backup comes in and he's playing, I feel like as long as they protect the football and don't turn it over, they'll win.
Yeah, I got Georgia beating Indiana. Um, from there, I don't really see Georgia struggling at all. Um, then I have them taking out Penn State in the next round too. And I'm gonna tell you, looking at the way this is set up, if Georgia don't at least make the finals, is a failure.
Yeah,
because they shouldn't lose to Penn State. And Penn State ain't got no sorry team, but Penn State just ain't beat nobody and ain't played good enough teams this year. Georgia should be losing to them with a chance to go to a chip.
yeah.
Now, the other side. This is the game that I think is gonna be a really good game. The 5 seed Texas. Number 1 seed. Well. Hold on. Forgot. Do you actually have Oregon beating Tennessee, or do you have Tennessee striking another upset in another Big Ten team?
I got Oregon beating Tennessee. Whoever, or Ohio State. Even if my prediction is wrong and Ohio State beats them, I still feel like Oregon would overcome either one of those teams. The way they're balling right now, they've been balling out of control right now. So I feel like either one of those teams will probably take a loss.
I agree. I think Tennessee played it close early. It's a pretty decent game. Oregon pulls away kind of late, and I got Oregon moving on to the next round. That'll set up the matchup, as I was saying. Number 1 Oregon versus number 5 Texas. Who do you have winning that game, going to the national title game to face the Georgia Bulldogs?
This is where I got Oregon taking their first loss. I got Oregon taking their first loss to Texas. I feel like somehow, some way, Texas upsets Oregon. Who you got?
Hook 'em horns. I agree. Oregon takes their first loss of the season. Texas gets the win. Oregon is a very good team. So is Texas. I believe these are like the top 3 teams. Which is your Texas, Georgia, Oregon. I believe those are the top 3 teams this year. I just got a feeling that Texas gets it done. Very close game. Very good game. But I just don't see Oregon being able to go undefeated. Now it sets up the championship game. All SEC championship game. That would also mean that the SEC beat the Big Ten in 3 out of 4 of the games in the playoff. So now, do you have Texas finally seeking revenge on Georgia, or does Georgia kick Texas's ass for the 3rd time, give them the 3rd loss, and Texas only loses all season to the Georgia Bulldogs?
Yes. Texas, I feel like they cannot stop the run well enough from Georgia. That really concerned me in these first 2 games that I watched. That's what I feel like. So I'm gonna say Georgia beats Texas, and Georgia ends up being the national champions. Who do you have winning the national championship?
Another instant classic, overtime game. 3rd time is not the charm. They got them boys' numbers. I think it's psychological at this point. Georgia wins again. Georgia's your national champion. I have the Bulldogs.
I definitely got Georgia.
Returning to glory. Now, Travis Hunter won the Heisman. We both had said we thought that Genty could or should win it, but it could kind of go either way. We weren't really gonna be mad either way. What is your thought on the Heisman?
Can't be mad at that boy for winning it. That boy played offense, defense, and he was elite on both sides of the ball. So I feel like, yeah, he was elite on both sides of the ball. He's him. As I've said in previous, he's him. Different. Something we ain't never seen before. So I felt like, we should have given it to him. But I also feel like Genty should have had it just because, anytime you get mentioned with Barry Sanders, it's absolutely out of this world. Like
incredible.
Like it's just out of this world. What he was doing every game in and game out, 200 yards, 180, that's crazy. Like no matter who you playing.
Yeah, this was the first time I thought ever that there should have been co-Heisman winners. Like, because both of them boys just went so crazy.
You got to have one winner. The Heisman.
Like, because the issue is a shame that now Genty ain't going to have the Heisman, but you can't say Travis ain't deserved because, like you say, he was elite on both sides of the ball. And all of them snaps, and like you say, Genty didn't end up breaking the rushing record. And I told you he was going to have to do that because we ain't seen nobody like Travis play offense and defense. Elite level, weapon, touchdown maker. People don't even throw at him typically when he had corners. They go the other way. Like, he is him. Him is he.
Yeah, he different.
Like, way different. And, I just wish that boy could have found a way to get in that playoff so that we could have seen that boy on the biggest stage. And that would have been crazy.
Because he definitely had me locked in every Saturday.
Yeah, like, man, you never know what you might see.
Yeah, I was definitely watching, peeping, going back and forth from my boys to them boys every Saturday.
And them Nebraska boys, you was viewing.
Stop. Nobody watching y'all.
Ain't
nobody come to see y'all, Otis.
You was the main one, Otis. Now, it's crazy because we was we just kind of broached it the other day and we was talking about this. But then it comes out that Travis Hunter, allegedly, from his fiance girlfriend, said that he didn't drink and he would drive her to parties and wait for her and her friends to get done. Is this another sign of bad news for Travis Hunter? Or is this just, everybody else making more out of nothing?
Now, this don't really strike me like the last thing she said did. This does puzzle me though. Cause I do kind of get why he would do that, because in a way, even if you don't indulge, you still want to make sure your girl or your old lady, significant other, or whatever, is safe, you know what I'm saying, and gets home safe, or is safe at all times. But sitting outside in the car, though, it's just a little, funny to me. But the more they explain their relationship, the more it makes sense. How you feel about it? Are you driving your significant other to a party and sitting outside in the car and waiting for her to get done?
Definitely not. You feel what I'm saying? Because the way I feel is, what I'm thinking is I'm outside. So if something gonna happen, it's already too late. I'm outside. If I'm not going in the party, why am I gonna go out here and sit? You feel? If I'm really coming to protect, I'm coming in. What I'm gonna do? If something happen, I'm outside now. I'm coming after. You feel what I'm saying? No, I need to be in there. But like I say, what everybody gotta realize is that man is in love. He love that girl, and it's nothing nobody is gonna do or say it's gonna stop him. You feel what I'm saying? He gonna love it, and it's either gonna break him or he gonna look like a genius, and everybody gonna look like they was wrong. You feel what I'm saying? So, and that's just how it's gonna be, because you can tell that boy hooked.
They ain't gonna show this.
Like, and I know you hooked. If you go into a party sitting chilling in the whip,
Yeah.
that boy hooked.
Well, he might not have had nowhere else to go.
Man, look. I would have rather sat at the crib and watched paint dry. You feel me? I would have hit her with the Jody. Let me drop you off. I'll be back.
I say, hey, just call me when you close. We about to be close. To be done, I'll come back and get you. Let me use the car. Let me just use the car real quick.
Look, I would have did that goofiness before I did that. No way. But like I say, and like you say, the more they talk, the more it kind of make more and more sense, though. You feel what I'm saying?
It make more sense.
It is what it is.
Because I ain't gonna lie, they got a strange relationship.
Strange as hell, yo.
But hey, if it worked for you, it ain't gotta work for nobody else. So.
Yeah, that's why I say, hey, do your thing. Now, before we get into this NFL prediction for the week stuff, you did see where Kirk Cousins just got replaced by Michael Penix, correct?
Yeah, I did. I seen that.
Okay, now, I'm going to tell you what the internet is saying. The people have been talking. Yeah. And what they say it is that Kirk Cousins should be a Hall of Famer. What I mean by that is not the actual Kirk Cousins, but Kirk Cousins' agent should be the Hall of Famer. Kirk Cousins will have made $321 million in on-field earnings by the end of this season. He has one career playoff win in 13 of them seasons. The people are saying his agent should be a Hall of Famer, and I agree. First cousin, regardless of what anybody can say, has had one of the most successful careers of anybody, because no one would say Kirk Cousins is a top 20 quarterback of all time, not even the top 30, probably not even top 50. Who making that money he making though?
He making top 5 money, top 10 money.
Exactly. That's why I say, and especially for you to not be at that level and still do that.
Yeah, hey, give that man his gold jacket. Give it to him. Yeah, give him his gold jacket.
Kirk love that man.
Yeah. I would too, making me a lot of money, you feel me?
That motherfucker be number one on speed dial.
I know they got a great relationship.
You know they do. Ain't no choice.
That's his partner.
Ain't no other way. Now, do you think that it was a smart move for the Falcons to replace first cousin with Penix and go on to look to the future after just giving him $90 million for 3 or 4 seasons?
Yes, because he's playing terrible right now. He's playing very bad. I feel like you might can get a little better play out of Penix the way Kurt is playing right now. Something happened between. I mean, he does look like he's injured, hobbling, and stuff like that. So that probably does have a lot to do with it. But I just feel like something is a little different between the first part of the season
And now,
and the back half of the season. They kind of got worse as the season went on. So I'm not exactly sure what really is going on there, but it kind of started looking different, right around I say middle of the season. So Penix will probably give you a little bit better play. So we're just gonna have to see if he can be consistent enough to push him to the playoffs or, send him home. How you think? What you think?
I think it ain't really gonna change too much this season. I think it's too late. Tampa Bay gonna still win the division. However, I do think it's a good move for the future because it gets Penix in the immediate, basically like playoff kind of mode action. Because they know that basically they season they got them from where they beat the Bucks both times. If the Bucks slip up once and they don't lose no more, they can win the division. So any loss now is pivotal. But then that means the Bucks got to lose multiple games. Now you really asking for stuff. So I think it'll work out good, especially because they play the Giants and the Panthers, and I think maybe they got the Commanders in there. So I think they go 2-3 and miss the playoffs.
I definitely think they miss the playoffs. I feel like the Bucks win this division, even though the Falcons. I think the Falcons got the lead on them. But I still think the Bucks win this division.
No, Bucks got a 1-game lead.
They got a 1-game lead. Okay, yeah.
Because Bucks is 8-6, Falcons 7-7. Now, speaking of people with bags, Sam Darnold. If you are the Vikings, seeing that you just drafted J.J. McCarthy last year, first round pick, do you re-sign Sam Darnold? Then, if you do or you don't, is there a certain range? Meaning, if he gets you to the NFC Championship game, do you re-sign him? Is it Super Bowl? Is it a Super Bowl win? Second round? If he just makes it the playoffs, what would be your thing that you would require to bring him back, or is there not anything that he could do that would get you to bring him back?
I would say he has to win. I'm gonna say he has to win 2 playoff games. So I'm not gonna say he has to get to the Super Bowl because he's not. This is his first year as a starter. So I'm not gonna say he has to get to the Super Bowl, but I feel like you at least, in order to show that you are a franchise guy, you need to win a few playoff games. So you at least need to. I say one for sure, but for me, but you're asking me,
Mm-hmm.
you would have to win at least 2 for me to pay you that quarterback money, that 40 million, 50 million that you are probably going to ask for. I would have to see you win, go on a run, because especially the season that you're having this year, you're playing good this year. You of course you had some inconsistencies. I mean, you're a first year starter, so of course you're going to have inconsistencies. But at the end of the day, I feel like you should at least win 2 playoff games, in my opinion, in order for me to say, okay, this might be the guy we can pay for the future. You know what I'm saying? Because we can go up from here. But if you go in there and lose in the first round, you can pay anybody to do that. I mean, you ain't got to pay nobody. You can pay somebody minimum money and lose in the first round. So,
well, I say you already got the rookie contract to do that. Now, even if he was to do that, would you be trying to get him into like a 2-year deal? That way, when McCarthy coming up on his last year, you could basically kind of give him the Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love type of treatment. Or would you sign him to a 3 or 4 year deal and try to get Donald in there long term?
I probably would only sign him to a 1 year deal. I would sign him to, if he wins 2 playoff games, I would sign him to a 1 year deal and see if we can get to the Super Bowl and maybe win it. Um, that's what I would do. I would try to put the money into it like that if he would accept it, or maybe 2 years with a second year option. You know what I'm saying? So we can pick up the option or not.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I feel like you you got the rookie quarterback, and a torn meniscus is very overcomable. You know, you can overcome that, but I still feel like you're gonna need some time to give him some time to get his rhythm, make him feel comfortable. You know, you want to get it. He's a mobile quarterback, so you really want to make sure he has his legs because he's probably going to need them early. You know, being a young quarterback and not probably seeing the field like a veteran would. So,
Yeah.
sorry, Sam.
So,
Even if you win 2 playoff games, yeah, I would only give you a 1 year deal. I would give you a chance to try to win the chip. You know what I'm saying? And if we win the chip, hey, then we might could talk about something. But if we lose, if we do the same thing or we get worse, then we'll just blow it up. You know, try to win with the rookie quarterback and go from there.
I think for me personally, I agree. He would have to get me to the NFC Championship game, unless he would sign for like 30 mil. Now, if he signed for like 30 mil, we might can we can figure something out on a little short term deal. But if not, then I need you to get me to the NFC Championship game. Because that means you would have beat somebody that I definitely didn't think you should beat. And at that point, what I would go to him and tell him is, either we got, depending on how well he played, we either have 45 or 50 million for you for 1 year, or 40 million for 2 years. But we're not going no further than 2 years. And we play it from there. And either he accept it or he don't, and he walk, and we move on with the future. So look, you know something that's crazy, my boy? Why do I not have a sponsorship for Dr. Pepper? Dr. Pepper, you see me every video. I'm advertising for you. Free promotion. You know what you need to do? You need to sign your boy. The biggest. Now, Thursday night game. 9-5 Denver Broncos travel to the 8-6 LA Chargers. This is a huge game for playoff implications, playoff seeding. Who do you have?
I'm gonna say the Chargers find a way to pull it out and they overcome their losing streak. I'm gonna say Chargers pull it out over the Broncos. Who you got?
I agree. I think it's going to be a very good game. Chargers pull it out at the end, get to 9-6, and Broncos fall to 9-6, and I believe that's how it's going to go. I think Lad McConkey gonna have a big week.
I feel like it's gonna be a big passing game. A lot of passing yards on both sides.
Yeah, because I don't see either one of them really being able to run the ball with too much success.
Yeah.
Then we know this week we got 2 Saturday games. The first one, 1 o'clock. The 9-5 Houston Texans travel to the 13-1 Kansas City Chiefs. Who wins this week?
Now, I'm going to say the Chiefs win, especially if Mahomes play. I know he practiced today, but I still feel like the Texans, the way they're playing right now, they're not putting up a lot of points and scoring when they need to. So I'm going Chiefs. Chiefs win in a close game.
Chiefs win. Close game, but the Texans ain't been good enough for me to pick them over the Chiefs. Um, Andy and Mahomes will still dial up enough as long as he can be out there and he ain't like just a complete statue. And even if he a statue, he'll probably steal with the way the Texans been looking. I'm not impressed. This is a huge week for them though, because they could right a whole lot of their wrongs if they start off by beating them this week, then beat Baltimore next week. Then we'll actually have to take them as a threat. They lose this week, then lose next week. We're gonna keep thinking they're not really a threat.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to be a threat, though, because I don't feel like I said, they're going to be able to put up enough points to beat teams in the playoffs.
I agree. Because, like I say, they at least had the running game to lean on at first. Now, they could even having issues running the ball. So it's like, what do you do?
When you can't run it or pass it.
Exactly. Now you're in trouble. Excuse me. So, yes, now, the 4:30 game. The 10-4 Pittsburgh Steelers travel to the 9-5 Baltimore Ravens. Division on the line. Steelers win, they win the division. Ravens win, both teams are at 10-5 with 2 games to play. Ravens would have Texans and Bengals left. Steelers would have Chiefs and Browns left. No, Bengals left. They would have the Browns. Yeah. Ravens would have Texans and Browns. Steelers would have Chiefs and Bengals. Who wins?
I'm going to say the Ravens beat y'all this week, my boy. And the reason why I said it is because I don't think y'all can put up enough offense without Pickens playing, because I see he was out. They say he's probably going to be out another week. So I feel like without Pickens, y'all really need to be at full strength when y'all play these high-powered teams. The Ravens, they're coming off a high week, so they could carry over, and they could, make y'all put up a lot of points to beat them, which y'all might struggle with without Pickens, which kind of makes y'all one-dimensional, which everybody kind of knows y'all going to run the football. But the Ravens' defense is getting better, I will say, as far as stopping the pass. So if y'all can get your guys involved, the others, the Freiermuths, the Calvin, Austin?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if y'all can get Austin the ball, he's very speedy. He can probably make you a few plays. You're going to have to start getting Najee out in the passing game a little bit to help you guys out. But I just feel like if you don't get the passing game working this week against the Ravens, it's going to be hard for you guys to lock up the division. What you think? You think your boys overcome? Well, I already know you don't think your boys going to lose to nobody. So I don't even know why I asked you.
I know we're not going undefeated, so I know we're going to lose to somebody. But guess what?
It ain't going to be the Ravens.
We're not going to lose to just anybody. We somebody. And Saturday, we go into Baltimore, clinch the division on the Ravens field, while Hard Knocks is there viewing, while I'm viewing, while the world is viewing the world's team in prime time. Walk in your trap, take over your trap. You know the mantra.
Y'all is not the world's team.
The world's team.
Y'all is not the world's team.
The world's team.
True.
The world's team.
You're not even the best team in the Keystone State. Like, what are you talking about? What is this guy talking about?
There ain't a trap that we walk in that we don't take over. The world's team.
You ain't walk in ours and take over ours.
You ain't see how many of them terrible towels was in attendance spinning around.
And you know what? You know who else was in the building? And y'all, you ain't take our stadium over like y'all took the Redskins stadium over.
Hey, look.
Or like y'all take Atlanta stadium over.
You got a point. We ain't taking over that much. But
y'all right across the bridge.
But look, you know that y'all actually show up for y'all's game. So you feel me? It's gonna take a lot more because y'all pride yourself in not letting niggas take over your stadium.
You ain't walking in our trap.
However,
take over nothing.
We walk in your trap and we take over because we got more than everybody else that y'all be playing when they be in there. Division opponents, all of it.
Yeah.
We them members.
Y'all
and it will show up. We own Lamar Jackson. It will show. This will spook them even more for the playoffs where they will want to avoid us at all costs. Whether Pickens plays or Pickens don't play. As long as Mr. Watt plays, we win the game.
They say he was hobbling at practice.
I know. And I seen where they said GP didn't practice. So you feel me? But like I say, we're gonna find a way to pull it out. It'll probably be like I say, one of them crazy scores. 15, 13, crazy tight score where you're like, what? And bam. Steelers win the division. Now, on to our Sunday game. The 8-6 LA Rams travel to the 4-10 New York Jets. Do the Jets keep the win streak going, or do the Rams win?
The Jets ain't beating the Rams. Rams win in a close game because games like that always be funky. Rams win.
Especially in New York, too.
Yeah.
To me, it all depends on the weather. If it's bad weather in New York, it'll be a close game. If it's good weather, Rams run away. Excuse me. Does Puka Nacua have a big week?
Big day. Huge week.
Does Cooper Kupp bounce back from 0 catches?
If he doesn't this week against the Jets, he won't. Because the Jets had the most. Every time I watch them, I'll be like, bro, y'all gotta have the most pass interference calls and holdings, illegal touchings, and all type of stuff. Like every time y'all turn around, y'all get a flag.
They trying to find ways to lose, man.
They be trying to give teams the game, and they do.
Now, the next game. This could be another division decider. The 12-2 Philadelphia Eagles head to the 9-5 Washington Commanders, aka the Redskins. Who do you have?
We sweep the division series, and we get them boys up out of there. To all my Redskins fans, I'm sorry. Well, y'all Commanders, my fault. But we beat y'all in a high scoring game, close game, nail biting game, thriller.
I want to go with the Commanders because they've had pretty good success against y'all over the last few years. But as we were discussing the other day, they don't play 4 good quarters, and I don't see them being able to beat y'all without 4 good quarters. So I have both teams in Pennsylvania clinching the division this week. Eagles win, clinch the NFC East. Very good game, though. Very good game. Now, we've already spoken about this team. The 7-7 Falcons host the 2-12 New York Giants. I'm going to just say it. Michael Penix gets his first win of the season at home against the Giants. What do you think?
I agree with that. I feel like Michael Penix finds a way to get it done. Drew Lock was named QB1 for Sunday's game, and I don't feel like he'll be able to put up enough points or even enough yards to beat the Falcons. Falcons win.
I agree. I think it's going to kind of be a blowout. They could probably hand the ball off the number of times, still had their way with the Giants. So, yeah, I don't really see it being too much of an issue at all. Falcons win, get to 8-7. The 7-7 Cardinals, who are on a slide, head to the 3-11 Carolina Panthers. Who you got?
I'm gonna say the Panthers upset the Cardinals this week. That's my biggest upset of the week. I feel like the Cardinals are on, as he said, the decline. For some reason, they are very inconsistent. I've been saying it all in the other past podcasts. He's very inconsistent. I just feel like the Panthers bounce back. Bryce Young has a big game against the Arizona Cardinals, and the Panthers get their fourth win of the season.
I think this is going to be a very good game. I think Cardinals find a way to pull it out at the end. Panthers lose another close game. Yeah. I think it's going to be a very good game, though. Panthers got a good shot at winning. Especially with Arizona coming across the country. Play at 1. Might be a good upset.
Yeah, it might be a good upset.
Now, another AFC North battle. The lowly 3-11 Cleveland Browns travel to the team that's underachieved expectations, the 6-8 Cincinnati Bengals. Who do you have?
I'm gonna say the Bengals continue their hot streak and they win this one too. I don't feel like, even if with Dorian Thompson Robinson or Jameis Winston as that QB they're going on, they don't put up enough points to outscore the Bengals. I don't feel like their defense can hold the Bengals enough below 10 points. So I'm going to say Bengals win. Who you got?
Bengals win because Robinson is the quarterback. I actually think if Jameis was the quarterback this week, they would have a much better chance because Bengals defense is ass. And Jameis could actually have some success. Now, Jameis going to, Jameis giver for Jameis taker for away, but I feel like this would have been a better week. But I feel like the Browns know that they're trying to compete for one of the top picks so they can get a quarterback. So they like, screw it, we'll just put in Robinson. And Jameis then gave us the leeway because he keep throwing all these interceptions.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel like Bengals win this week. Keep their hot streak going. Expect another big game this week from Chase Barrow, Chase Brown. You know what time it is. The 3-11 Tennessee Titans head to division foe 6-8 Indianapolis Colts. Who you got?
Golly, I don't like either one of these teams. I'm gonna say the Colts find a way to pull it out. I feel like Anthony Richardson, he hasn't been playing well. He finds a way to bounce back this week and finds a way to have success.
Yeah, I think him and John Taylor both score touchdowns this week. Colts win. Still be a pretty decent game. Division foes. I think Colts win about 10-13, improve to 7-8, keep their slight playoff expectations alive.
They bit Will Levis was bitched. So do you feel like your boy Mason Rudolph?
Yes, it's gonna make them more competitive. I definitely do. Now, do I think Mason Rudolph is gonna completely change life in Tennessee? No, but he'll be better than Levis. So then that's really all that you care about at that point. So that's what I believe. Now, the 12-2 defensive injured Detroit Lions head to the 4-10 rival Chicago Bears. Does Caleb Williams get off of his snide, or do the Lions show that even with all of these injuries, we still gonna be a threat?
The Lions show how dominant they can be, even with people out of the lineup. Excuse me. I feel like they got a next man up mentality, and I don't feel like the Bears are clicking on any cylinders right now. So I'm going Lions in a blowout. The Lions put up 40.
Mm-hmm. I think Lions win. I'm expecting a huge game this week for Gibbs. He might get in the end zone 3 times because with no Montgomery, them touchdowns that Montgomery get, them about to be Gibbs. Gibbs can also catch. I think the Bears gonna have issues with Gibbs. I think St. Brown gonna have him a pretty good week. Jameson Williams makes a long catch. Lions win. I don't think it's gonna be too bad of a blowout, but it ain't really gonna be close. It'll be kind of in the range where you could argue as a blowout or you could argue as close. I don't think Caleb Williams changes it around. I think he hasn't realized yet still that he's not going to be able to run around like a chicken with his head cut off in the league. And until he realizes it, really until next season, I don't think we're really going to see too much of a difference in his play.
Me either.
Damn. That's all the number one pick get out of you. Just me either. That boy having a terrible year, ain't he?
Very disappointed. Hire a new coach. As a matter of fact, get I don't know, get somebody that know offense. Who could they get?
What about so I think that the Bears should hire Ben Johnson, the Lions offensive coordinator, because he's an offensive guru. I think he can get the most out of Caleb, the receivers, because they have pieces. It's just not hitting the way you would think it would hit. So that's what I think that the Bears need to do and who they should hire. And then Caleb gonna have to stop thinking it's still college. He just trying to run around like he the best athlete out there, and he ain't. He ain't even close, and they lighten his ass up for it.
Yeah.
So, who do you think should be the coach of the Bears?
I feel like the offensive coordinator from Buffalo.
I think it's
Brady. Yeah, Brady. I feel like Brady would be a great addition to him. I feel like them boys would definitely, go in the right direction. They still need an offensive line. So, I mean, you ain't going to really be a whole lot without an offensive line. But I still feel like if they was to get at least somebody who would put them in better positions to be great, make the offense a little bit more unpredictable, you could probably have a lot more success than they have now. Still would probably have a losing record, but probably be better. It'll look way better than it probably looks now.
They really would have a winning record, even with the line. Like, the thing is, they got good enough skill players that if you was just getting it in their hands quicker, instead of trying so much deep stuff and not realizing, damn, my line is terrible, so let's get the ball in our playmakers' hands quicker. Yeah. If you see that Caleb Williams is struggling because he's trying to run around, do stuff to make him get the ball out of his hand quicker. That way you limit that. You try to limit the fact of your line, and it may not result in a Super Bowl, but you might can get to 9-8, 10-7. You could sneak in the back door of the playoff or something. You never know. Get a couple luck here or there in games. May win your division. Now, I mean, it's typically not going to be sustainable to actually win the Super Bowl, but if you know your offensive line is that bad, you shouldn't really plan on winning the Super Bowl.
That's true.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, how you think you're going to win the Super Bowl? You can't block. It rarely happens. So, therefore, to me, you should be trying to build and work on what you got and be the best at what you got. So, you realize, okay, I got my weapons. Now I need to make sure I get my line.
Yeah, because you got to have a line. Because if you don't win in the trenches, it's hard to win, period. So,
Yep.
O-line and D-line.
Yep.
The D-line is decent, you know what I'm saying? The defense is not that bad. The offense is just, it doesn't help them out at all.
It doesn't. Because the defense will be stopping, but eventually they break because the offense don't be doing that. Yeah. And it's like Caleb, to me, it seemed like, too, he nervous about throwing picks. So it's like he holding on to the ball, too. Like, and it's hard to be effective that way.
It is.
Like, very, very, very hard. And another reason that the line is so pivotal, because if it's 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, and you converting them at a high clip versus, or if you are not converting them at the high clip, your opponent is, you probably gonna lose. Because you think of 3rd and 1, you're supposed to pick that up.
Yeah. Supposed to.
So, and if you're not picking it up and they is, or if your D-line is good enough that you stopping them majority of the time, or a lot of the time on 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, now you're going to be in the winning situation.
Yep.
So, and it's just little simple stuff like that that people don't realize. Because sometimes there might be a first down here or there that kept the drive going. They ended up getting points. But you don't remember that they got it because they was picking up the first down. That's what kept the drive going. The 12-2 Minnesota Vikings visit the 8-6 Seattle Seahawks. Who do you have?
I'm going to say the Vikings are too much for Geno, and Flores dials up some things that he's not used to seeing, and he has a few turnovers, so I'm going to go with the Vikings. Who you got?
I agree. Vikings win. That Geno is not going to be playing. I'm seeing 2-3 picks in his future because Vikings defense is good. Flores is a great defensive coordinator. And Geno too inconsistent. I don't know what we're gonna be getting. That Vikings defense with Flores is too good. Vikings win. It'll be a pretty decent game, but too many turnovers for the Seahawks. Vikings win.
Yeah, Geno is having a rough season. 14 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. The guy is having a tough season.
And now I'm going to play the Vikings defense, and Flores might go from 14-13 to 15-15 or 15-16.
About to say, yeah.
Might mess around and be 14-16.
He on pace to do his Jameis Winston impression. 20-20.
Yes. Yeah, so now, on to our next game. The 3-11 New England Patriots, visit the 11-3 Buffalo Bills. Do I even have to ask you who you have?
The Buffalo Bills ransacked the Patriots at home. Josh Allen has at least 2 touchdowns throwing, 2 touchdowns on the ground.
Ooh.
Calling it right now. Who you got?
Bills win. I say Josh gonna have like 3 touchdowns total, like probably about 300 total yards. Bills win handily. It'll probably start off kind of close for about the first quarter, and then next thing you know, it's just gonna turn into a Bill. And yeah, Bills gonna be too much. Josh Allen gonna be too much. Cook too much. Patriots ain't got enough. On to one of our worst games of the week. The 3-11 Jacksonville Jaguars head to the 2-12 Las Vegas Raiders. So they moved out of Oakland.
Where Brock Bowers is probably going to achieve his 1,000-yard season. He's at 968 yards on 90 receptions right now. So he probably will break 1,000, but I'm going to say that it isn't enough because the Jaguars have a little too much for the Raiders, especially because the Raiders are down to QB3 right now. So I'm going Jaguars. tied. Mac Jones.
I think it'll be a good game. It'll be kind of competitive game, and the Jags will pull it out at the end. If Desmond Ritter is your quarterback, you don't have a quarterback.
Thanks.
So therefore, I'm gonna go with Mac Jones and the Jaguars because Mac Jones has been better than Desmond Ritter. And yeah, Raiders need a quarterback, man.
Yeah, they do. Terribly.
Brock Bowers is going over 1,000 yards. That boy's a dog. Whoever get to be the quarterback, the experience playing with Brock Bowers is gonna get a joy. Kobe Myers been balling too.
Yeah, I like Myers.
Real talk. A lot of people don't mention him, but Myers get busy.
He do.
Now on to our next game. The 6-8 San Francisco 49ers travel to the 6-8 Miami Dolphins. Now, these are two teams that are both underachieving. No one would have thought they would be 6-8 really at this point. Who wins the underachievement bowl?
The underachievement bowl. Yeah, you was wild. I'm going to say that the Dolphins find a way to win this lone game. I just feel like the 49ers aren't clicking at all right now. I feel like some is off. I'm not really exactly sure what, but some is not right with them. And
Purdy.
him along with a couple other things. I was about to say, with the injuries and stuff. So I feel like even though they might get Jordan Mason back this week, I still feel like they will be on the losing end of the spectrum. Especially, we still got Bosa questionable. So, Miami pulls it out.
I'm going to go Dolphins. They're healthier than the 49ers at this point. If you got the weapons, Brock Purdy can look nice. Without him, he'll look like a jag, just a guy. And they're also on the road. They don't really have the running backs that they really need. I don't think Jordan Mason is going to come back now. If he does come back, that'll be a good help. But I'm going to go with Dolphins winning a close game, beating the 49ers. Season over. Goodbye. The 8-6 Tampa Bay Buccaneers head to the Dallas Cowboys 6-8 Sunday night in Jerry World. Buccaneers, pivotal game. They need to win to keep first place in their division. Cowboys, if they want to have any hope at a playoff shot, they must win. Any loss mathematically eliminates them. Who wins?
I feel like the Bucs beat the Cowboys this week. Even though I feel like the Cowboys will make the game interesting, the Bucs like to pass, and your D-line does have moments where y'all tee off, so it might be interesting. But I still feel like the Buccaneers will pull it off in the end. They also can run the ball, and I feel like that in the end that might eventually be too much for the Cowboys. So I'm going Buccaneers, and they cover the spread -4.
I think it'll start off a pretty good game. Then Mike Evans, the Baker connection, gonna be going crazy. I think they'll have pretty good success running the ball with Bucky and White. And I don't think the Cowboys is gonna have. I mean, I think Dallas will have a pretty good game, but I don't think they're really gonna be running it down Tampa's throat. And I don't trust Cooper Rush to finish it out. Buccaneers win. They definitely cover. I got them winning by 10. That leads us to the Monday night game. The 5-9, no quarterback Saints are heading into Lambeau Field to face the 10-4 Green Bay Packers. Who you got?
I'm going with Green Bay. I might take them minus the 14. I just
they
think.
Put foot in them boys' ass.
Yeah, I think they're gonna put a foot in them. I don't feel like the Saints will be able to score with those guys. The Saints are having a lot of injuries. Everybody's out. Everybody's banged up. But so is a lot of teams. With all that being said, Packers run over the Saints. Big day for Jordan Love.
I agree. Packers blowout win. I think they win by 21. I think Love and Jacobs have big days. I don't think the Saints really going to be able to stop the Packers. If they do, it'll only be a little bit because their offense isn't going to have too much success against the Packers and Packers team.
I'm with you. Now, how do you feel about Vic going to Norfolk State?
Say that for the people one more time.
That boy, him, the one your mama and them used to go see, the one your pappy and them used to go see, the one you used to line up in front of the TV when he was at Tech to go see. When he got drafted to the Falcons, he was lined up. When he got out, came to the Eagles, he was lined up to go see. Even when he made his rounds to
Pittsburgh, he was the one you wanted to see.
And Baltimore. But with all that being said, that boy Michael Vick is now the coach of Norfolk State football team.
I love it. I think they're gonna be back. There's gonna be so many young guys that want to go there to experience playing under Michael Vick just out of respect in the area, and I think he got a chance to do great things in the area. Like, I love it.
The hometown kid comes back home.
You feel me? And them people, they ain't loving it, but I love it. Shout out to me.
I like it. I think it's a good move. I'm not really familiar with his coaching resume, but I mean, you seen what he was doing as a player. So I'm excited to see what they do.
I think they're gonna have success because a lot of it is recruiting.
Yeah, you gotta be able to get the players in there.
Yeah, like you either gotta be a great schematic coach or you gotta get the players in there. And typically, if you want to have great success, you gotta do both.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Because having a good coach or a great coach will make you a good team, but it's gonna stop you when you face another great coach or a good coach and they got the actual talent.
Yeah, that's true.
But if your team got the talent, but they not disciplined, and you're not putting them in the right situations and ain't coaching them up, then a lot of times you still ain't gonna win. You'll still lose to a team that's more disciplined than you.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's why I say I'm anxious to see about the X's and O's of Vic and stuff. But even if he ain't got it, what the good coaches do is, okay, if I know I can recruit and get the players here, I'll make sure my assistant coaches are very smart and they can do the things that I lack in. Whatever I lack in is where the other people come in, and that's how we build a staff that we make up for the deficiencies of one of us.
That's true.
So, because not everybody, you're not gonna be good at everything, and you gotta realize what you great at and what you good at and what you not so good. Why try to do something you're not good at instead of getting somebody else and hiring them to do that?
That's very true.
That's why you got assistant coaches. You see what I'm saying? What's the point of having them if you're not going to use them?
Exactly. Like, it don't even make no nonsense.
Ain't that what Alpo told that boy AZ in the movie? What's the point of having soldiers if you don't use them?
You got to use what you got.
Hey, look, this is offending, but look. That nigga Rico Alpo ass nigga. On to the association. Post work, finally getting to that NBA basketball. We know the people been wanting it. So you know what that means? The people want it. Post work is here to deliver.
Facts.
The biggest in the reverend. You know how we get there.
Now, the latest thing that's happening in the NBA right now is the Bucks just won the NBA Cup. They beat the
Yeah.
in a blowout win. So, how do you feel about the Bucks? Do you feel like that they are contenders to win the chip? Do you feel like they don't have enough? Where do you feel like the Bucks need to strengthen?
Um, I don't think they're a championship contender. I think they need another piece. I don't think it's a realistic piece that they could get, but I think they need another piece with Dame and Giannis that would actually get them where they need to get to. Um, I think the NBA Cup is a fraudulent, made up trophy. Um, I do like the fact that they can win some money for the guys that really need it. You know, a lot of the dudes that get the big bank, they just give it off to like, the training staff and people like that. But for them dudes that, on smaller contracts, they probably mean the world to them.
Yeah, because they everybody on the team won over $500,000. So
Yeah.
everybody won 500,000. So I mean, they were showing that Giannis and Dame is only like 1% of their like it's only like make up of 1% of their contract. So that's like a blemish to them. But on other guys who are on two-way rosters and things of that nature, that's equivalent to like 90% of their contract.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That's
Yeah,
almost their whole season.
Yeah, so it's always good to help the guys out, man, and help the team and people who are less fortunate. But I'm with you. I still feel like the Bucks are not for sure winners of the East. I still feel like they don't have enough to beat the Celtics.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say something too. If they keep their roster the way it is, I don't even know if they gonna make the Eastern Conference Finals.
They're currently sitting at fourth in the East at 14 and 11. So if the NBA was to cut off today, they would play the Bulls. Well, I mean, no, they would play the Heat. Do you think? I mean, do you have them beating the Heat, who are currently in the fifth spot at 13 and 11?
I don't. I think that in a playoff series, especially with Doc Rivers coaching, because Spoelstra is going to do numbers around Doc, and that he coaches, just something about it. And to me, they like the opposite end of teams. The Heat is very disciplined with a little less talent. The Bucks are like greatly talented, but lack cohesion and discipline.
I see that. I can see that.
And I see the Heat getting them again and surprising them in the first round in 6 or 7 games. And with the way that it's set up now, I would also take them to beat the Cavs as well.
Yeah, I can see them beating the Cavs in the 7-game series.
Now, if the Bucks could get by the Heat, I would also like the Bucks to beat the Cavs. So I think that whoever would win that series would actually end up in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Celtics if things were to stick packed the way they were now. Because to me, the Celtics are just the one team that's kind of just head and heels above. And like I say, I don't really see anybody beat them. And if it do, it would have to be the Heat. And the only reason I say that is because they're the only team that I think is mentally tough enough to beat them. I don't think them other teams have the mental toughness to beat the Celtics. Even if they have better players, because you would look at the Bucks and be like, well, they should have a better chance than the Heat. But I don't trust their mental. Now, it's still time before the deadline, so if people get a few pieces here and there, that may change. Because if the Heat get rid of Jimmy Butler, it's over for them.
Yeah, I feel like the season's over.
Right, exactly. So, Bucks add a piece or two here or there. Say they was to get a Brandon Ingram or something. Now we got a little something different to talk about.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You adding pieces. What if they bring back a Malcolm Brogdon and help the defense out? You know what I'm saying? It's just things you never know who people could pick up. They could actually be a big piece.
I agree. The Bucks could pick up Ingram maybe, or They could probably get Brogdon back. That could probably help.
That's what I say, because that would give somebody else in that backcourt. That way, when Dame can't guard the best, you don't want Dame guarding the best perimeter player. You want to kind of save his energy for offense, not use Dame up for defense.
Yeah, he don't play a lot of it anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I feel like since you start talking about the Cavs and you feel like they, even though they're the number one team in the East, you don't feel like they were contenders to win the chip. Who do you feel like the Cavs need to get in order to be contenders?
They need a 3, small forward. They could use again a Jimmy, a Bi now. I think if they could find a way to get their hands on Jimmy, they could lose Jared Allen or possibly one of the top 4 players. But if they could just add Brandon Ingram to what they got now, I think that could work. But the issue is the Pelicans gonna want something in return, and I don't think Brandon Ingram is good enough that they should be trying to get rid of the other pieces to get him, because I don't think he's gonna be able to make up enough for that.
Yeah, I don't.
So, right. So to me, the Cavs would probably have to go for, realistically speaking, I can't really think of a piece that you could add
to make them contenders instantly.
Yes, unless I'm saying they gonna trade for somebody like a Jimmy Butler or something. Because other than that, you could give them some pieces, but is that piece really good enough to contend with Boston? Just because you add in say you added in a DeAndre Hunter type of player. It's not. That's still, he a good, decent player, but that's not enough for the Celtics.
Not enough to win you a chip.
Right, you see what I'm saying? So
they feel like they're a few pieces away.
Yeah, you feel me? And to me, really, what they are away is those guys developing. They need Mobley to be. If they really want to be serious contenders, he need to be like 20 and 10.
He needs to take the next step. I agree.
Like, need to be known as one of the best bigs in the game. Because then what'll happen is if he can get like that, Garland can be improving. Really, the pecking order should be either Mitchell, Mobley, or if Mobley hits the ceiling, Mobley, Mitchell, however you want to look at it, then it should be Garland. You see what I'm saying? And that would give them, if that were to happen, they would be a threat. A serious threat. Because then you got the inside, outside presence. You still got somebody that can set everybody up. Like, that would, to me, that would give them their best chance, is their players actually improving, because how do you really improve the team significantly?
Yeah.
So it's really like the guys on the team need to actually hit their potential so they can do what they need to do.
So they really have a development problem that they're really waiting on guys. I see that. I can see that.
Because think about it. Who would you, same question back to you, who would you add that you like, okay, is one piece away?
Nobody. I don't feel like you can add anybody without breaking the team up.
Right.
So
you
like,
see what I'm saying?
So
like,
I'm with you. I feel like there are a couple pieces away. Mm-hmm. And to me, I don't like the structure of you having 2 small guards. You have Garland and Donovan. Mm-hmm. Both of those guys are 6 foot. If Garland is 6 foot, but to me, I just feel like you kind of need a bigger guard. You need a bigger 2 guard. Somebody, maybe a Zach LaVine, maybe, or somebody who can, that's kind of tall, who gives you a take on a load of the scoring, who can also guard the other best player. So I still feel like they have to restructure the team a little bit, in my opinion. I feel like those guys, even though they play well together, if you're trying to win a chip, you're going to have to restructure it a little bit to beat those top teams like the Bostons, the Nuggets, if the Thunder, if they make it, they're tall, they're long. But I feel like they match up well with the Thunder. The roster they got now, I feel like they can match up with the Thunder. But
yeah, because they be young enough and experienced enough. Like, I still think the Thunder would win, but I get what you're saying. That would by far, like, the teams in the West would the best bet for him.
Yeah, I feel like
guess them or like maybe the Grizzlies, like one of them young teams that kind of is inexperienced too. That may get him a few passes when they're making mistakes and don't punish them for making them mistakes. But I agree with you for real because I was telling you before the season, before they started off this good, that I would be looking to trade Garland myself, and I probably would be trying to get rid of Jared Allen too if it was me, because my thinking is, like you said, I don't want two small guards in my backcourt typically. And to me, I don't think Garland Mitchell is good enough to deal with.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's not like you got two guys, but you're like, man, they just so good, we just gonna have to build it around them. No, I think you get rid of Garland, Jared Allen. I would try to make Mobley my 5. Because if Mobley can spread the floor at your 5, that gives you more spacing. Now you can compete with a team like the Celtics. So then what I would do is try to go get if I could figure out a package around Garland for Jimmy Butler, and then a package around Jared Allen for a Lauri Markkanen type, so kind of a taller guy that can space the floor, and then you can get you in a guard that can pass and defend, like a Malcolm Brogdon type. You see what I'm saying? It kind of catch and still knock down the open shots. I'm gonna even tell you a player, Alonzo Ball would fit nice if you had that type of team, because he played great defense. Well, if he could be healthy, but great defense, pass the ball. That's what you would need with that type of a team, so that you could, because that's how I would rebuild it. But I just think because their record is so good, they not really gonna be trying to give up a Garland right now.
No, because when you winning, you always think that that's the answer. You know what I'm saying?
They thinking like you said. Well, what's the one piece? We one piece away. No, you really not. You think you one piece away, but you really not.
Yeah, you're really a few pieces away.
Yep.
But do you feel like, okay, so we'll go to the team that lost. So what do you feel about the Thunder? Do you feel like they're well? Let me just scratch all of that. Who do you feel like is instant contenders right now to win? Right now, no roster change, just instant contenders right now.
Meaning if nothing changed.
If nothing changed, if the playoffs started today, who's coming out of what?
Okay, when you say contenders, do you mean just the contender for the conference or to win the chip?
You can give me both.
Okay, from the East. Celtics are by far the favorite. And I'm going to say the only other contenders are the Bucks and the Heat. I think the Cavs and the Knicks can possibly, even if they were to reach the conference finals and get to the Celtics, I don't see it being even. They're like 5-game series. I don't really see them as being threat at all. You feel what I'm saying? And I really don't think the Heat or the Bucks are threat either to the Celtics for real. But just to have to answer the question and not disrespect and, you know what I'm saying, just completely write off everybody. Them is the two that if I had to be like, okay, somebody could beat them, it would be one of them two.
Okay. What about the West?
West. OKC. Dallas. Denver. Phoenix.
Phoenix.
I want to say the Warriors, but I can't because you said with no moves, so I just hate writing them boys off because we done seen it so many times.
Yeah. Okay.
Them and to me, them, the Grizzlies, and the Timberwolves are very close but need a move. They need one more piece. So I'm going to leave them three out and just give you OKC, Dallas, Denver, and Phoenix. And the reason I say Phoenix is anytime you have KD, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, I have to give you a chance. It's too much.
Okay. You can't be mad at that.
Now, as far as to win the title contenders, I have Celtics, Mavs, Nuggets. I think it'll be very, very hard for the way the Suns play to beat the Celtics.
Yeah, I don't have them beating the Nuggets.
Well, see, I don't either, but under my synopsis, someone else would take out the Nuggets for them, because you're right. That's the one team over there they have no answer for, because they have nobody to put on Jokic. Like, not a soul. So, if they end up with the Nuggets, which is...
That's who they would be playing right now if it ended.
No, they would be playing... Hold on. No, they get the Rockets.
Okay.
Because the Rockets is 3 and they 6, yeah. Now, that would... We'd be getting some crazy first-round matchups.
Oh, you talking about the Suns? Oh, I thought you talking about the Nuggets, my fault.
Yeah, because the Thunder would get the T-Wolves right now. That's interesting. The Grizzlies and the Warriors, the Rockets, Suns, Mavs, Nuggets.
Luka and
Jokic in
Jokic.
round 1.
Wow, that'd be crazy.
And then to get the Warriors and the Grizzlies, you know they got beef. Then you're going to get OKC in Minnesota, Ant-Man, SGA. Like, we would get a treat right now.
Yeah, we would.
Like, real talk.
The West would be lit every night.
Yes.
The East would be like,
Yeah, because you get the Cavs and the Bulls. Ugh. Nobody
wants to see that.
Celtics, Pacers.
Rematch.
Alright, but Knicks, Hawks. Bucks, Heat.
Yeah, that's the only good one.
Get interesting.
I'm about to say that's the only good one.
Yeah, other than that, it's like, kind of, it might take it to 6 games, but we still kind of know it's like, they ain't really gonna beat them.
Those games might get ugly.
Yeah, like.
They might get ugly.
Yeah, like, so to me, I think this Mavs Nuggets series would be crucial. Very crucial. Because if the Nuggets could get by the Mavs in the first round, I think the Nuggets would win the West.
Okay. You got the Nuggets. I got the Nuggets coming out the West. I hate it because when my people see this, he's going to be like, I knew it. I knew you was a Nuggets fan. I'm just being realistic. Them guys is really the only team right now who I can see can beat anybody. Everybody else, I feel like they don't match up well with a certain team. The Nuggets.
Okay, I guess I was going to ask you, who do you think that the Thunder and the Mavericks don't match up well against?
The Mavs, I think they don't want to see the Nuggets. You know what I'm saying? And I think, to be honest with you, I don't think they want to see the Warriors either. I feel like the Warriors are very sneaky to upset somebody in the first round or two. They got much experience. They know how to win.
Don't let that chef get the cookie.
Yeah, I was about to say Curry, man, you can't count him out. Like, he's different. Like, so I feel like they don't want to see them. The Thunder, I feel like they also don't want to see the Nuggets. I feel like they also don't want to see. I feel like the Thunder don't want to see the Mavs. I feel like they would be a bad matchup for them also.
You know, it's crazy because I was about to ask you, seeing with the Thunder losing to the Mavs last year, did you think that if they got the chance to get them back, would they beat them? But I'm with you as well. I think that the Mavs are not really a good matchup for the Thunder.
Yeah, I don't think so. I still feel like, especially if Golden State can make a trade before the deadline in February. So it's like, I feel like if they could get, a guy just one more piece, somebody that can come in, maybe a 3-and-D guy.
Do you want him to get Braun?
Right now, at the state of his career, I feel like he would be a good fit, but I still feel like that wouldn't make them instant winners.
What about Jimmy?
Jimmy, maybe. I don't know for sure. I don't. The only reason why I'm saying I don't really know for sure is because Jimmy has times where he shows where he can be a guy like a number one guy, but a lot of the time he shows you that he's really like a real good number two guy. Like when he's the second best player on the team, then you probably you probably cooking with grease. But I really feel like if Golden State can somehow get like AD, that would like make them like instant
Oh my god.
contenders. Like,
That would be crazy.
yeah, I think that would make them instant contenders. Like right now, contenders like Curry and AD, I feel like will go crazy. Like that would be just something we ain't never seen in a while.
Interesting question then, since you say that. What do you think looks the best, and what would of these three combos I'm about to give you, what do you think would look the best and have you could break it down, look the best and the most team success, or if you think both, you can say the same. AD to the Warriors with Steph, AD to the Mavs with Luka and Kyrie, or AD to the Grizzlies with Ja.
I feel like I just feel like AD and Curry would go bonkers. Like they would probably win 2 or 3 chips. I think because I just feel like you give Curry a dominant big man, somebody who's going to cause a lot of attention in the paint. You know what I'm saying? To take a lot of the pressure off of him. I feel like that would go a long way, and Curry would be able to really take the team over the top and push you way over the top. So I'm going Curry and AD, Big Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? So if they can somehow get AD and make the money work, you feel me? That's where I would go.
Do you think then, if they do that, do they match up with the Nuggets to where you then think that the Nuggets no longer are coming out the West and the Warriors are coming out?
That gives them a much better fighting chance. Now, do I think that is instant over the Nuggets? Because I still need to see AD dominate Joker. I've yet to see Joker get dominated. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you can't dominate the Joker, if you can't win that matchup, you're more than likely not going to win. So I need to see AD at least put up the same amount that Joker does, and then of course Curry is probably going to do his thing, and so I feel like as long as AD match Joker and Curry, strings along, the rest of it they will have enough. But if AD doesn't match Joker, then I still feel like they don't have a chance to come out of the West fully. But I feel like that would make them. I feel like that would make them at the top of the West. Like that would be them and the Nuggets would probably be the team to beat.
Okay. Another question. We just completely overlooking the young Rockets right now. They third in the West at 17-9, and we didn't even mention them. Neither one of us. If you are the Rockets, do you continue to let the young talent grow, or are you looking at a trade to bring in a star type player to expedite the process?
I feel like the way you put money into the roster now, you probably want to win right now because you signed a Dylan Brooks, you signed a Van Vliet, you signed other guys to try to bring in and help the young guys to push you over the top. So, but I just feel like you still are a few pieces away, which means that I would try to bring in maybe a Levine, maybe maybe a Jimmy Butler, maybe. But I still feel like you would probably be 1 or 2 more pieces away. But that would instantly, put you in the conversation of teams to be dealt with.
Question. What if the Clippers call you and they trying to get some of your young pieces for Kawhi Leonard?
I'm not trading Kawhi.
But I'm saying, if the Clippers, you're the Rockets, the Clippers are coming to you, and do you, because you hear this, does it make you more hesitant because you think it's more going on with the injury, so now you don't want to do it? Do you part with some of your young pieces? In an instance like that, what do you do?
I'm not trading for Kawhi either.
So you're not trading him, and you're not trading for him.
No, I'm not trading for him either because right now he's not in the shape that he once was, which means he's not going to give you not nearly the production he was giving you. And even though he's saying he's back, he's getting close, he's practicing now, and all that other stuff, is like the one thing about Kawhi is that you know that when he's healthy, he's probably top 3 in the league when he's healthy. Like fully healthy, Kawhi is probably top 3 in the league. But when he's not healthy and he's in and out the lineup, he's sitting a lot of games, he's in some, he's out a lot. So it's like you don't want to give up your for sure guys who you know are playing every night and are getting better and working for a guy who doesn't have a lot of years left. Even if he comes back today and plays the rest of the season, he doesn't have a lot of years left. Like he's not gonna be signing another 2 max contracts, or you know what I'm saying. And he's not gonna be around another 10 years. So Kawhi is definitely one of the guys you want to have on your team though if he's fully healthy. Like, no injuries, none of that stuff. He's definitely a guy you push all the cards in for because he shows you that, hey, you give me a few guys and I'm healthy, I'm winning. I'm winning. Bottom line.
Okay, what about this then? You wouldn't trade for him. You the Rockets. If the price would be right and you wouldn't have to give up your core, would you try to go after and add a Zion Williamson to the mix and kind of double down on your youth? Or do you think he would be too much of a problem and you don't think he would be able to get into shape?
I don't care what shape he in. He's gonna dominate. He's gonna average 20 and 25 and 10. I don't care what shape he in. But I do see what people be saying. Of course, you want your guys in top-notch shape. You're paying all them guys all this money. And the better shape you are, the better you're gonna perform, the longer you're gonna play, etc., etc. But I feel like the Rockets, they still need a few pieces. Even with Zion, that would make them a great team to watch. It would be very fun to watch, but I still feel like they wouldn't match up well with the Nuggets. Or maybe even the Mavs, maybe.
Yeah, they still need a little.
Yeah, I feel like the Warriors, not the Warriors, the Suns should need to go get like Valanciunas or somebody like like a big man that can, just give you a little bit of scoring, a little bit of rebounding, and playing some defense, and know somebody who's not going to get moved around in the paint. So I feel like the Suns, they need to get Brogdon too because they need a backup point guard, somebody who can bring him a lot of scoring off the bench. You can pair him up with like Beal, and they can run the second unit when Beal and Booker come out. When Booker and Durant come out. So it's like I feel like that's a way you can try to match that up and pair that together and make the Suns better than what they are. But I feel like right now they're just fun to watch. I feel like they're like the Grizzlies. You just want to watch them because they're must-see TV. But reality when it's coming down to winning, I don't feel like they're gonna have enough to win.
Those will be great additions to the Suns, and that's why I think the Mavs have the best shot at beating the Nuggets because to me, with Lively, Gafford, at least you have. They're not gonna stop Jokic.
Yeah.
But at least they're not just turnstiles out there, and at least you have 2 different people that can catch some moves. They at least will hustle. They'll get boards, play pretty good defense. You see what I'm saying? Now, it ain't gonna be enough to stop Jokic, but it might be enough that it ain't like him just using and abusing them other teams.
True. That's very true.
So, because I don't see what a lot of teams who the Warriors gonna put on Jokic?
Yeah.
Who do the Suns put on Jokic? And then even if you okay, they'll put Nurkic. Well, what about when he get in foul trouble? What about when he get tired?
Yeah, because Jokic don't get tired.
Exactly. You see and he get most of them in foul trouble. So what about what we gonna do there?
That's a great question.
Now, I I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think the Rockets, if they could get Zion, that would be great. But I really think that he needs to go to Memphis, and I think that would be a very pivotal piece in Memphis, and I would actually make them a contender if they could add Zion.
That's definitely some TV that I would never turn on.
Because him, Ja, and Triple J, that's instant success.
Yeah.
Like, instant.
That would definitely be crazy to watch. I can't lie to you on that.
Like, then with you still having Edie as a backup, that would be nice. Or you could go small and have Edie. Go big and have Edie, Triple J, and Zion. Like, it's just so many different ways you could work with that lineup and that matchup that I think that would be a great fit. He would fit their timeline. Because the other players that I would think about Memphis getting, they don't fit their timeline, really. Like, those guys are great now, and Memphis guys are rising.
Yeah.
So it's like you want to kind of get somebody that kind of fit the timeline, too. Unless you think that person is good enough to basically get them a chip, even under not being under their timeline. So, where would you like to see Jimmy Butler end up, or would you like to see him traded?
I would like to see him stay. I feel like they developed a nice little core with each other, but I also feel like they need to just figure it out a little bit with the personnel. Figure out who you gonna bring in to add to you guys. Like, I don't feel like Rozier was a good pickup for their style of play, and I feel like they could get Brogdon. Brogdon would probably be a good pickup for them.
They play tough, physical defense. Yeah. Like, it would be a great pickup for them, actually.
Yeah, I like them. So I feel like, or should somebody trade for Trey? And should the Hawks blow it up?
Look, if I'm the Hawks, I wouldn't blow it up, because what else are the people going to come to see? But if I'm another team, I would definitely be considering it.
Who would Trey go to then? Who would you trade him to? That's the question.
You literally just said the answer. The Miami Heat.
Oh.
They need somebody that can pass and score like that, and that would give them now that would really make them a threat. Like, if you could get in a Trae Young, and then you could ship out Terry Rozier and probably 2 or 3 more guys, get in an ice tray. Now we cooking with grease.
I can see that.
Like, because when you really look, they the team that's missing a point guard. You feel what I'm saying? Of most of these competitive teams, they the team missing a point guard.
Yeah, they are. Them and the Suns are missing a point guard.
Now that could work too.
Yeah, the only thing about it is they go big 3 guards with Booker, Beal, and Durant. So it's like it's hard to put a Trae Young in that mix.
Well, I mean,
they trade Beal.
That's what I'm saying. You'd have to trade Beal, but then the issue would be, it would be great to see, but who are you stopping on defense?
Yeah, you're not stopping them.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that be the thing. So it's kind of like you also got to find a place that they can play defense. I'm going to tell you one more place he could work is Minnesota. Because they got good other defensive pieces around him that they can kind of hide him a little bit more. So I think that could work too. But outside of them, I don't really see competitive teams that could really use his services, because most of them already have a good young point guard.
Now,
but if I'm the Hawks, I'm not trading him.
Yeah, no,
I'm keeping.
I don't blame you. But I'm saying if you are the Lakers, if you're the
if I'm the Lakers, I'm trying to get him. If I'm the Clippers, I'm trying to get him. If the
Timberwolves,
you're right.
Suns, that's really what it.
Yep, Heat.
Yeah.
And yeah, that'd probably be about it. It may be a few more teams. I would actually try to. If I was the Spurs, I would consider it, because him and Wemby would be instant, like, great pair, especially good as Trey be down.
That's definitely instant offense. Instant offense.
Like instant. But again, they just drafted that boy Castle, so they may
Yeah.
not want to, do that. But again, I would.
The Spurs are sitting 11th outside of the top 10 and 13 and 13 at 500. So
Now, I got a question for you. You're a Kentucky fan, right?
big Kentucky, big Blue Nation.
So, what is the issue with the Sacramento, Kentucky Kings?
You traded for a guy that didn't help your offense, DeMar DeRozan. Why would you trade? I mean, I ain't gonna say why would you trade because he got through free agency, right?
Yeah, but they signed and trade.
Okay, so they did. It was like a sign and trade type deal. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, first of all, even when you first got him, I was telling people like, bro, he doesn't fit the way they play.
Yep.
Like DeRozan is a guy who slows the offense down. Like he slows a lot of stuff down. Like in the way the Kings play, they're a fast-paced team.
Yep.
They don't play slow. They play and get up and down. They're a young team. So it's like when you went and got DeRozan, I see what you was trying to do, but that wasn't the right guy he wasn't the right fit. Like
they would have done better to get his teammate. LaVine would have fit what they do much better than DeRozan.
Than DeRozan would, yeah.
Because LaVine athletic, he can kind of shoot more.
He run.
Right, you feel what I'm saying? Like that would have fit the way that they play. DeRozan. And it ain't even like DeRozan slow it down and he does a great 3-point shooter. Now you add another person that can't shoot, so it's less spacing. And you want Fox to be able to have the most space he can have to cook.
Yeah, you do. Then Sabonis, is always in the paint. Then you got him and DeRozan in the paint. But I do like Keegan Murray and the other guys that they have, Malik Monk. But I just feel like you kind of got a lot of guys that do the same things. You got Keegan Murray, you got Fox, you got DeRozan, you got, Davion Mitchell. You got all these guys who are not the same player, but they do a lot of the similar things. So it's like nobody is significantly different than the next one, So it's like all of these guys are kind of the same. You need more complementary players, like more 3-and-D guys, and less guys who are ball dominant, who are going to get the ball out your best player's hands.
I agree.
That's how I feel about the Kings.
I think they're a disappointment. I could have called it though, because I knew the West was going to be stacked, and I don't think the team it fit.
Yeah, it's not a right fit to me.
Right, like you got good names, but they just don't fit. And I think, like you said, if DeRozan wasn't a good pickup, they would have done better to get a LaVine type.
Yeah.
That would have fit more with the way that they play. Or, I think B.I. would have been a good fit with them.
Yeah, B.I. would have been a good fit with those guys because even though he does some back to the basket stuff, it's not as much.
Right, and he'll run.
Yeah, and he can play in a free flowing offense. He can shoot threes. So, he can space the floor better than DeRozan would, but, they probably would have had to give up a lot. I mean, but even though you gave up a lot to try to get DeRozan, but I feel like B.I. probably would have been a better fit. Like you said, a LaVine, maybe even a Jimmy Butler.
He would have too, because even though he would have slowed it down, at least it would have been a better player. Because if you're going to get somebody to slow it down, why would I go get, like, DeMar DeRozan who passed his time now? You see what I'm saying? Like, this ain't DeRozan from 5 years ago. So it's like, what do you think you getting? And I ain't see it. And I think Jimmy would have really fit with them guys because they already play hard. You put somebody like Jimmy out there with them boys, they would have had them boys playing hard as hell.
Yeah, DeRozan, the one thing I can say I always have said about him, he's walking 20-point bucket. Like he's a walking 20 piece. I feel like, man, one team I do feel like would be better if it weren't for the injuries. I feel like the Magic would be higher in their standings.
They would be.
If it weren't for Apollo and then the injuries that they sustained.
Friends hurt now.
So I just feel like those guys will probably, even though they're fourth in the East right now at 17 and 11, I feel like their seeding could possibly be higher if they
It
had
would be.
Paolo.
Cause they like 6 and 4 in their last 10, and that's with losing friends for like the last 3 or 4 games. Paolo been out for like a month or so now, maybe even month and a half. So like the Magic could definitely be on the rise, and they're another team that needs to make a move.
Who?
Trae Young.
You think they should get Trae?
Cause they need a point guard too.
Yeah, they definitely need a point guard.
Like real talk, they need a point guard. And Trae Young, Paolo, and friends, that would be nice.
Yeah, that would be good. Down there in Florida.
You feel me? Then you just need to get you a solid big man in there. You feel what I'm saying? Then you'll be working. Cause friends, nice, yo.
I like Friends game.
Paolo got skill. Ice Trae, you know how he get.
He'll walk in 15 and 15.
That man goes crazy. So, yeah, I think they're another team that could use the point guard piece like that, and that would put them over the top. Because if you really look at it, that's really what they missing. It's like a legit point guard that could set everything up and have it flowed out.
Yeah, so right now, if I forgot to write the Magic on there. But so if the Magic and the Bucks play right now, since the Magic are at the 4 seed, would they beat the Milwaukee? Do you have them beating the Milwaukee Bucks right now?
Too young. I see them pushing the Bucks to like 6, and then the Bucks getting rid of them in 6.
What really disappoints me is the Pacers, though. Honestly,
Very much so.
they're currently in the 8th seed at 12 and 15. So it's like, do you feel like they should trade for somebody? They should be making a trade, or do you feel like
Yes,
should
but
just
I
blow
don't
it up?
understand how you're gonna make it happen because you really need to keep Halliburton and Pascal for sure. Other pieces you can possibly try to move, but to me that's just still not even a good enough two that I'm like, man, you really are serious contenders. Like, you might have to blow it up almost or rebuild it almost just around them two. You feel what I'm saying? Because I don't really like Miles Turner. He's too inconsistent.
To me, he shoots a lot of threes.
Yeah, he play like a guard.
Yeah, he tries to play like a wing player.
Yeah, so they just really have disappointed me this year. I thought they would take another step, and they're competing to even possibly make the playoffs. Because if they lose in the play-in, they cannot even make the damn playoffs.
Yeah.
And they ain't even been having the injuries that the Sixers been having.
True. That's very true. So, yeah, so I feel like Halliburton took a step back. That kind of hurts him.
Yeah. That's another thing, too. If the Sixers do get healthy, I do actually feel like the Sixers had the best shot at beating the Celtics.
But the Sixers, they have to dig themselves out of a big hole. They are back. 12 in the East and 8 and 16.
But that's only, 3 games back from the Pistons?
Yeah,
3 in the win column.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you feel me? And then you still got the Bulls and stuff. As long as they can make the play-in, it don't matter. They make the play-in because then you're going to have to deal with them. And if Embiid, PG, and Maxey is healthy, problems.
Yeah, that'll be problems. Do you feel like them boys will eventually be healthy enough to actually make a push for the playoffs?
I do. And I was worried a few weeks ago when they only had 2 wins. I was like, okay, they might not. But now that they done crept up to 8 and they not real too far behind, and they've been 6 and 4 in their last 10, I see it coming. I see the push. they'll get somewhere in that play in. I don't think they'll get. I don't think they'll be healthy enough to get to one of the top 6 seeds. But I think they can get to the play in, and then they can get healthy, and we can see where it goes. Because to me, that's the team Boston really don't want to match up with.
The 76ers?
Because they actually have a big man. You see what I'm saying? It really is a legit big man. He ain't no play-for-play big man. Then you got a wing and a PG. You got a guard and a maxi. You actually got enough to where, you feel me, if they're hitting and they D'ing up Boston, they can beat them.
True.
Because you got 3 different people that can go for 20.
Yeah, they do.
Shit, for Reed got 3 different people that can go for 30.
Yeah, Maxi, PG, and B average 30.
You feel me? So, that's why I say, but I hope they get healthy this year, but I just don't know if Embiid is going to be able to stay healthy.
Yeah, that's always the question. Now, let me ask you this, though. As I'm looking at the standings, the Spurs are currently sitting outside the 10th spot at 13-13. Do they have a fighting chance to make the play?
Yes.
Them and the Sacramento Kings are right behind them.
Both have a good chance because unless Kawhi comes back, I don't see the Clippers keeping their spot. They'll be a good team, but I see of the teams that are in the playoffs right now and play in, I think they'll come out and Kings will go in. Kawhi comes back, Clippers stay in, then it's down to Lakers and Kings of who will stay or who, if someone comes in and comes out. Because I don't really see the Lakers getting too much further than where they are, them or the Clippers. I think they kind of, especially the Clippers, I think the Clippers are peaking, especially without Kawhi. Now, if Kawhi can come back and be healthy, the Clippers will probably go from play-in to outright play-off. So, that can go many different ways. But I think the Kings will end up getting to the play-in. I do think they will lose, though, to whoever they face in that first game. And they'll be sent packing because like we already discussed, I don't think that's going to work. And to me, basically, the 8 teams that are up there now are going to be the 8 teams that make it unless the Rockets were to falter. Because with them not having enough playoff experience, they could be caught vulnerable to a play-in situation where it's one game, win or go home. You see what I'm saying? But outside Minnesota, I'm not worried about Golden State, Phoenix, Denver, Dallas, Memphis, OKC. All them teams got at least enough experience for a play-in. You see what I'm saying? So
I agree with you on that.
It's going to be an interesting race, my boy.
Yeah, man.
Because this West is crazy. Like, I don't know if you realize it or not, but imagine that somehow the Rockets do fall out. You either get a healthy Clippers or a healthy Lakers. You realize that means you're going to have SGA and them OKC boys. You're going to have Ja and them Memphis guys. Luka and Kyrie and them Dallas members. Jokic, Murray, and them Russ and them Nugget boys. You got them boys in the desert with KD, Beal, and Booker. You got Ant-Man with them T-Wolves. And then you got Steph in the Bay. And if you got Kawhi and Beard in LA or AD and Braun in LA, you know how good of basketball we about to see.
Yeah, the West is going to be must-see TV every night.
And then if you get a team like the Rockets in there, they're going to be high-flying. So don't mess around and let it be like Rockets T-Wolves, Rockets Grizzlies. Like, you get into Rockets Suns, you're going to get some real interesting games, even with the Rockets in there, because they ain't fun.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I think they need to trade Dillon Brooks, too.
Yeah, definitely.
Because even though we always talk about you need a guy like Dillon Brooks, but the issue is Dillon Brooks don't realize that he's Dillon Brooks. So Dillon Brooks be trying to keep shooting like he's a shooter instead of just realizing all we need you for is the hustle, dirty play. We don't need you Like, we need you going to get boards, playing defense, moving the ball. We don't need you shooting. You open for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, the other team wants you shooting.
We want you to just be a 3-and-D guy.
Yep. Is there anything else that you got that you would like to talk about? Any questions you got for me?
No, man, that's it for me, man. I'm straight. Tune in to the next episode.
I ain't got nothing either. We are post work. We working, we grinding. And when we stop working and grinding, we keep working and grinding. Get the motto. Post work. The biggest and my partner, the Reverend.